Good morning, wrestling fans. Welcome to PWR today, Monday morning, September 14th, 2020. I'm the man they call Meathead, and we're getting this week kicked off right, as we always do on a Monday morning, with the lovely and luscious Linda Kay. I was trying to think of another L word, and luscious is the first thing that comes to mind when I think of
I love it. I love the double L's, and I love that adjective. Appreciate it, Meathead.
Ladies love Cool James. Got to get L's in there. Linda, how was your weekend?
It was great. First off, we had a wonderful win by our Green Bay Packers. Yeah. And well, yesterday was a bit rough for me. I did the first that I haven't done in a very long time, and that was going out on a Saturday night, staying out till bar time. So good times though. Just a rough one yesterday. But other than that,
we are bar people. I mean, I don't do it anymore, but I mean, my job was bar time. I mean, that's just the way I'm built. 2:30, start to wind down in the morning, 3:00. Imagine if we lived in Chicago like full time. We're going to bed at 6, 7 in the morning because we're just winding down from 4 p.m. bar close.
Or a.m. Or there were some clubs that opened till 6 a.m. So I remember those days. How did I ever do that is what I think about now. But
no, you've got more under you than I do. I didn't do it as much, but I did it. So awesome. Hey, yeah, we come off a big weekend and not a ton of wrestling news. So what we're going to do today is we're going to talk about what happened on Smackdown, because there's a bit of news that comes out of that. Plus, we've got a in-your-face Raw tonight, 8 Eastern, 7 Central, only on USA. Ooh, that wasn't bad.
Yeah, that was good. In your face.
Did you hear Damien's impression of Howard Finkel? I'm still not over it. It's good.
He does some really good impressions.
Yeah. So my impressions are always impressions of people's impressions. So like I'm I hope Al hears this at some point. I'm down with OPF. Do you remember what OPF was? Other people's funnies. I am not original at all. I am if I'm anything, I'm a person that copies other people's copies. Like my big movie trailer voice really is a copy of Frank Caliendo is all it is. So it's an homage, if you will. So but let's talk Smackdown from Thursday night. And you saw, right?
Yeah. Or Friday night. Smackdown in the Thunderdome.
Thunder. Before we get into the results of the show, there was a trade that happened after the show. Out of nowhere on Smack Talk or Talking Smack or laying the smack on your candy ass or whatever they call their show today. The Miz and Morrison apparently pulled some shenanigans and got Mandy Rose traded to Raw, trying to break up the love that is Mandy Rose and Mr. Money in the Bank Otis. What are your thoughts on Mandy making it over to Raw without Otis and his sausages?
Yeah, I thought the rule is you're not supposed to break up the couples, but I think that's just if they're married, not necessarily just on screen couple. It's interesting. I mean, I really liked what they were doing with her and Otis, and to split them up like this. I mean, it's being announced, and obviously with Miz and Morrison and their shenanigans with Otis, that something might happen in Otis and Mandy's favor. I just feel like this is just a little break, a little separation to kind of stir up the pot, but maybe
you already have a COVID separation between the two of them.
Right.
I guess, longing makes the love stronger. Isn't there some sort of phrase out there?
Yes. But I don't know, maybe there might be some new stipulation that since he's the current Money in the Bank briefcase,
maybe he can bounce between shows.
Yeah, they're doing a lot of that with the titles, so why not count in the briefcase?
Well, they just had a quarter. What's the new rule they made up? The quarterly invitational something.
Dual brand.
That just came out of nowhere. I mean, exactly. It literally just came out of nowhere. But a quarterly something, so that means that's why, when we talk Raw, we're going to talk about why there's SmackDown talents on it as well. But let's talk about the show. Hardy and AJ Styles ends in a no contest due to interference by the alleged Intercontinental Champion Sami Zayn. Sami needs a haircut, but it works for him. Yeah. I love this three-way thing that they got going on, and I'm hoping that this is the match that they have at Clash of Champions is a three-way battle for the IC belt. Your thoughts?
Yeah, it has to be. I mean, obviously, Sami Zayn coming out with his own title, self-proclaimed IC champion. Yeah, he's definitely there. I'm going to use it again, stirring the pot between what I thought was already a great battle between Jeff Hardy and AJ Styles itself, but now
his 9/11 face paint too.
I'm sorry?
His 9/11 face paint too.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
I mean, he had the red, white, and blue on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But throwing Sammy in the mix, I mean, and the way he's just inserting himself into this, it's great. It's funny because Sami Zayn is very entertaining, and all three are wonderful talents in the ring. So hopefully that is what we get to see, a nice triple threat match to determine the actual Intercontinental Champion at Clash of Champions.
The best thing about a heel, the best heels, they are only heels because they're going against your favorites. The most believable heroes are the ones that believe that they have the right, that they're not doing any wrong. The best bad guy is one that is doing something that he truly believes in. We have Sami Zayn here who truly believes he's still the Intercontinental Champion. So it works for me.
Yeah. It's kind of reminding me, though, of when MVP was the self-proclaimed United States champion.
Yes. But that was more cartoonish.
Yeah.
Sami was the IC belt and then went away from COVID.
Mm-hmm. Or quote personal reasons, as he said on SmackDown. But no, it should be good. The kids keep this thing rolling and see who comes out on top at the next pay-per-view.
Lucha House Party defeats Shinsuke Nakamura and Cesaro. The SmackDown Tag Team Champions losing to the Lucha House Party, and this is right before their big match on Raw. I like that they're legitimizing the Lucha House Party as somebody that can get in the mix with Shinsuke and Nakamura, or Shinsuke and Cesaro.
Yeah, agreed. They've definitely gotten a push this year. They've been with WWE for a while, but I don't know if the fan base was really behind them too much. But now, them being, thrown on our TVs every week, we're actually getting to see more of them, more personality with these backstage vignettes, and they're growing on me as well. So obviously, if they get a match with our current tag champ, it's going to be a good one.
Yeah, absolutely. We got some words out of Bayley. Bayley cementing herself as the #1 women's heel. As you were talking about during the Packer game, we were all watching, or as you were talking and we were talking wrestling, we got to hear from Michael Cole. It was it was kind of a hand-fisted promo for SmackDown during the football games because, I also had the Red Zone on and all the games did it. But Sasha's going to be on SmackDown next week to, kind of explain her side of it and what she thinks of Bayley. I mean, so much for selling that vicious beatdown. She better be in a neck brace and be a remote.
Oh, that too. I would like to see her in the ring just because she's wonderful, but
she better be live via satellite.
Yeah. And like you said, at least a neck brace.
Yeah. So after that, they talked about how Bayley's going to have to face one of the 4 women that'll be in the 4-way match to determine the #1 contender, and that'll be at Clash of Champions. Nikki Cross, Alexa Bliss, Tamina, and Lacey Evans. Not that we see Tamina enough, not that I don't want to see her, but it just felt like she was kind of thrown in the mix, like they didn't have a 4th for some reason.
Yeah.
Nikki Cross is the winner. However, you know what I enjoyed the most, and you already know where I'm going here. Alexa Bliss slaps on Sister Abigail and mindlessly leaves.
Yeah.
I love where it's going. I love it.
Yeah, it's funny, though, because that was what we thought was a tease when we get, into the Firefly Funhouse in a bit. But you knew this was going to happen, or at least just things little by little, like
pieces,
pieces, her personality changing, or like the mug breaking, and then you start to see a little dreadlock and just her look, but her personality just popping up and just being much more vibrant than it has been, and her not showing any signs of being scared or scarred from what happened with the Fiend, a couple weeks ago. Scared, yeah. So obviously we knew something was going to happen soon, and it's interesting for me because they are on Team Long Time in our draft.
Yeah, and there's things there for you. So, and that's funny because you have Alexa. So, I mean, Alexa could do something, anything, but you've got Nikki Cross who gets a title shot as well because you had the team of Bliss and Cross. So,
right.
Otis defeats John Morrison. Again, I like seeing Otis, but I think it's more so because I like to see what's going to happen with the Money in the Bank, and I like to see the Wisconsin patches on their denim vests.
Yes. And then what's in the lunchbox?
Well, different lunch boxes. So
Yes.
it's this lunchbox, that lunchbox. Sometimes he pulls a sausage out of it. Sometimes he pulls out like a fake contract that says 2016 on it. That's been on the internet lately. But it keeps working over Miz and Morrison. It's a fun little distraction from what he really should get to. And he should get to cashing that thing in. Granted, he's got till WrestleMania, right? Or till Money in the Bank, really. But let's get going. Let's see something. I want to see something.
Yeah. Well, I mean, them bringing in the additional lunchbox version of it, lunch pail, if you will. I feel like they'll keep him as the briefcase holder for a while still. Otherwise,
did you say beef case? Because that's what a sausage is a beef case.
I said briefcase. It may have come out as beef case because I do like meat. Wait.
Right. That's why we talk every Monday morning. Thank you.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Linda, it's been how many months have we been doing this now? Like 3, right? 3-4 months that you and I Monday mornings now, at least. Yeah. I think we've got an ebb and flow finally. I think it's there. Yes. Not that we didn't ever have that before, but now on the air, I think we're good. Good setup. Thank you. Main event. Roman Reigns, Jey Uso, Sheamus, and King Corbin. Now, the funny thing was that alarm was set to make sure that I talked to Linda, and I just snoozed it. Roman Reigns, Jey Uso, Sheamus, and King Corbin. The funny thing is Roman Reigns isn't being a heel to his cousin. His cousin's a face, but Roman Reigns is just doing the bare minimum, coming in, wrecking, and leaving. I loved this match. It was Reigns and Uso defeating Sheamus and Corbin, with Uso doing all the work.
Right. I liked the lead up to it, the promo, the in-ring promo, and when they were backstage where Jey was running through what he wanted to do, and then you just see Roman sitting there just like with no regard.
Right.
It almost seems as if his cousin is a nuisance to him. He doesn't want to work with him, or he's not looking forward to their match, or just that something's going to happen. It's like a ticking time bomb right now. So we kind of saw some of that when Roman Reigns came in and delivered the finish, but we've got a couple of weeks to build on this to Clash of Champions, and I can see this going till the go home show where Roman finally decks Jey on Smackdown.
Absolutely, he's going to pop him right in the mouth because he talked about how he used to kick his ass as a kid.
Oh yeah, that too. Yeah, but I like it. It's great getting the spotlight on Jey Uso as well, and I like how they are using their real life relationship, and they're like on social media. They've been showing old pictures and on the show, so that's cool to see.
It's super cool, and I've said this on whatever day of the week I've said this, but I'm saying this again while we're talking Monday morning. I can hear Papa Rikishi saying it's time to show up and show out. While we don't believe that Jey Uso is going to win the belt, this is a chance to show the office you are a main event player. This is your shot. Get in there and show off. Do what you got to do to make sure that they know that you're not just a tag team competitor.
Exactly.
So that was SmackDown. And again, Mandy Rose now is traded to Raw. So let's talk some Raw, okay? You won't want to miss a second of a special in-your-face Monday edition of Raw. WWE Champion Drew McIntyre one-on-one with his friend and training partner, Keith Lee, and so much more.
Yeah. It's interesting why this is in your face. It's kind of like,
I feel like you're flexing like Hogan. In your face.
Pretty much.
And they called Clash of Champions, by the way, the Gold Rush. That also just got thrown out.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I guess it's a thing now. It's just, like the horror show. That one might have been one of the first ones.
Do you think we would have trashed on Extreme Rules so much if we didn't call it the horror show?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I think we'd have just said, it was all right, whatever. But we called it the horror show, and now it's the worst thing ever.
Yeah. Well, it was also that eye match, too, but...
Yeah. Well, let's talk about that. Let's work our way through it.
Yeah.
So, first off, we're going to have McIntyre one-on-one with Keith Lee. Dominic Mysterio and Seth Rollins continuing the eye feud. are going to go in a steel cage. We've got the Raw Women's Champion Asuka. She will have to defend her title against one of my girls. Oh, I love me some Mickie James. It's been how long since we've got some primetime Mickie James, and I love some Mickie James. And the Street Profits battle Cesaro and Shinsuke Nakamura in a champions versus champions match. This is a bigger Raw than we're used to, and it's coming up tonight. First off, your thoughts on McIntyre and Keith Lee. What do you expect to happen out of this? Any Randy Orton interference?
I mean, he's got to sell that, he got his jaw kicked 3 times last week, right? So I don't know.
He got his heat back.
Yeah, which is great. But I don't know. I saw that announcement and I was like, why? Why are they facing them? Nothing happened negatively with them, so I thought it was kind of odd to pair them against one another. I don't think there will be a Randy Orton interference just because he should keep selling that injury. But I feel like Drew McIntyre will get the win, obviously going in as the stronger competitor, leading into the pay-per-view match. But it's just very interesting. I think it'll be a great match. They both got great size and great in-ring abilities, and it's still some storytelling on here. It's going to be, I want to see some emotion considering, Keith and they're friends, and Keith Lee came out of Raw and basically was like, I'm going to do this for you, Drew, so now they have to face each other. So I don't know.
Confusing, and this was all really started to be sold at the takeover right before SummerSlam, where Drew McIntyre came onto the show and said, I'm picking my friend Keith Lee to beat, Karrion Kross. So Dominic Mysterio and Seth Rollins will clash in a steel cage match. I had made my opinion clear of the entire Mysterio family beating Murphy. I didn't think it was necessary. If you're going to have a family go off on somebody, it should have been on Rollins.
Yep.
And why is a face family a 4-on-1 beatdown on one person?
Yeah, that wasn't fair to Murphy. Maybe they all got like one lick in, but just to continually do that, and that's how the show went off the air. It's like, what? Yeah, and I was just thinking I thought the same thing. I was like, this should have been the revenge on, this should have been the revenge that they would have gotten on Seth Rollins. I mean, come on. He was the one who took the eyeball out, and it really led this whole, period of pain for them. Like, come on. And then we hear now Dominic Mysterio and Seth Rollins again. I'm like, oh my God. I mean, at least it's in a cage now, but it's kind of like, I think we all agree that Dominic's doing really well so far, in his matches at WWE.
I'm at a point right now that I'm not talking about Dominic and Mysterio being this green, person that hasn't worked before. I'm past that already. Literally now this is Dominic taking on Seth Rollins.
Yeah, but the only thing that kind of bothers me is that a lot of his matches are, with the kendo stick, and now it's
They have to be because his skill set isn't that far yet.
Mm-hmm. But he's definitely a great performer, and I do enjoy watching him. So, I mean, can this please be the one to nip it in the butt, though? Please.
Yeah, I don't know about that. How about Raw Women's Champion Asuka defending against Mickie James? It's one of my few championships left over. I've taken a hit in the PWR draft for a couple weeks now, and David Hero breathing on my neck, like I said, like creepy Uncle Joe Biden. I see that this being a good match. I think there's going to be some interference by whoever that Asuka's going to take on at the pay-per-view. It could be Mandy Rose, and it could be someone else.
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, it's great to see Mickie James back in WWE.
It's great to see Mickie James, whatever she's doing.
True. Yes, she's beautiful. But I just, it's like if they bring her back to try to help her elevate someone, like how they had her help elevate Alexa Bliss when she first came on. But I mean, I can see that. But it's like if she's going to be facing Asuka right now, I mean, I don't.
It's not for Asuka. She's there to be in the match.
Yeah, but I don't know. I feel like you said, there will be some type of kabuki shenanigans.
Yes. Oh, look at you. Kabuki and shenanigans in the same sentence.
Yep. Hi, Dave Hero. For you.
The Street Profits will battle Cesaro and Shinsuke Nakamura in a champions versus champions match. Now, we just talked about it. Cesaro and Shinsuke coming off a loss to the Lucha House Party. What's happening here? My Street Profits, they haven't defended the belt enough, but they are literally one of the longest reigning tag team champions of all time right now. I think they have the Raw tag team champion record going as we speak.
I think so too, yeah. So wait, this isn't a title.
It's not a title match.
right?
It's just champions versus champions.
Okay.
Yeah, and I love the mini solo cups, the little baby solo cups. They're fantastic.
I can see the Street Profits winning this one just based off of Cesaro and Nakamura having, their loss on SmackDown last week. And that was,
I was going to say, how about some interference maybe from Angel Garza or Andrade and finally get the belts on those two?
No,
you think that ship has sailed?
I feel like they could definitely be great champions and be long time champions, but right now, no, there's just too much. I mean, last week on Raw, Angel Garza just walked out, so
I feel a trade coming. I just thought of this. Team Longtime needs an Angel Garza. So when they win the belts, you'll have Zelina and Angel Garza.
Perhaps.
Who has Angel Garza? Oh, that's the team they call Meatheads.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have to talk. We'll talk about it. That'll be off air, folks. I think we got a Raw to watch tonight. Now, granted, it is Monday Night Football, and that's probably why we have the in-your-face Raw. Because they're going to be battling football tonight. Remember, there's 2 games on opening Monday.
Yep, 2 games. Yep. All right.
So, we'll have to see. We're still basking in the glory. Speaking of Keith Lee and Drew McIntyre, we're still basking in the glory of a Packers dominating win, regardless of what the score ended up being. They just couldn't be stopped. Rodgers was only 2 drop touchdown passes away from having 6 and a perfect passer rating.
Right.
So, the guy's on fire. Regardless of your thoughts either way, they're your thoughts. You can have them. I enjoyed watching what I'm watching. I enjoyed watching SmackDown. I can't wait to watch Raw tonight. Linda, any final thoughts before we go?
I want to see this Rollins Mysterio feud end, but you're right. I don't think it will, and it won't end until Seth really gets that beatdown.
Which should have happened last week. The beatdown was there, and it was on the wrong person.
Do you think that Seth was gone? Is Becky Lynch due anytime soon?
If we're doing the math, April was Money in the Bank, and we're in September. That's 5 months. She probably was at least a couple months. Mm-hmm. You're close. I think this is coming because maybe they send Seth home to be with Becky.
Yeah, it wasn't announced that he wouldn't. Not saying that they make announcements when stars aren't there, but normally Rollins is there every Monday. He is our Monday Night Messiah, and obviously still involved in a very, strong storyline. So I that thought past my.
Maybe you're right. Maybe your storyline does end finally because he's got to go home and be daddy.
Mm-hmm.
You weakened your other person in the storyline. So how is this? Doesn't work for me. All right. Well, hey, that's it. You and me are done. That's a crisp 20 right there. High five. So for Linda K, I'm the man they call Meathead. Hey, thanks for stopping by. So long, everyone.